can't help.
I know.
So.
I wish I'd gotten that. Yeah, my camera's on low light.
Fancy pants.
Molly, I'm going to be your safari guide out here for the Hawaii Wildlife Reserve. A few safety reminders for you. We do need to keep those facial coverings on at all times, over the nose and under the chin. We're going to head on in. Just please make sure if you have any children seated on your lap, they stay on your lap, no standing. Please do not pass them off to someone
I
else.
wouldn't mind except now.
And definitely do not hold them in the air.
You can come lean over me. You're fine.
All right, we're entering Little Aturi Forest. Here in the forest, the animals like to use their coats, colorings, and markings to hide their predators.
You're fine.
So everybody help me watch out. Let's see if we see anything. Let me know if you do.
No, it's just a rock.
Oh, look over here on the right-hand side up on that hill. That's an okapi. Now, at first glance, you're going to think the okapi is actually related to the zebra. However, they're not. They're actually related to the giraffe. We know that they have those same and same skull shape. Now, over here on the right, the greater kudu. Both sides, actually. The cinnamon-colored ones, they're bongo. Now, the greater kudu are the second largest animal up here on the reserve. They get up to about 55 inches at the shoulder. Those are female. I know that because females do not have horns and the males do. Now, the bongos here, there's another one walking there. They're actually called the ghost of the forest. Both male and female have those horns. You can see they slope backwards. That helps them run through all this dense underbrush without getting caught up. Now all these water holes are great viewing places for animals. Everybody needs to come down for a drink. Like over here on the left-hand side, you see that black rhino. Now I know that's a black rhino because he has that pointed upper lip.
It's a great rhino.
He's listening to us right now.
I saw that one before.
Yes, we are.
Oh, wait.
They're a very rare sight to see. They are solitary. They spend most of their time alone, except for mothers and their young. They're heavily poached for those horns.
Whoa.
So much so that there are actually less than 5,000 alive in the world. Now those horns are actually made of the same thing as our hair and fingernails, and that's keratin. Now over here on the left-hand side, you can see this big, tall, black and white bird. It's a saddle-billed stork. Also solitary until they find their mate, and then they will actually mate for life. Here in the Safi River region, we're going to look for more aquatic animals. Animals like to spend most of their time in or near the water. We're looking for things like Nile crocodile and Nile hippos. So take a look for any dark shapes or colors under the water. Like over here on your right, you can catch a quick peek at 2 Nile hippos on the right. Any bubbles or ripples? It's indicators there might be wildlife there. Now hippos can sleep underwater because they can actually hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. When they need to take a breath, they'll just float up, take a breath, and kind of sink back down, all without waking up. Oh, over here on the left-hand side, I see a bloat of hippos. It's what we call a group. Now, they're fairly good swimmers. However, they
Look at the hippos.
prefer to
See
kind
the
of
hippos in the
walk
water?
or run
They
along
look like
the
rocks
bottom of the
over
river.
by the birds.
Now these birds you see nesting on this
they're
island,
so
those
cute.
gray and white birds, those are pink-backed pelicans.
They
After
move
mating
their
season,
like
they actually do turn a white pink splotch on their back. You can see it when they open their wings up. They are the smallest pelican species.
Ooh, a mingo.
On average about 20 pounds. Their wingspan is about 8
mingo's
to
a
9
bird.
feet. Now, put that in perspective. Take a look up at this canopy. That's 8 feet. And they're still the smallest. All right, coming around this curve, there's a rickety bridge up ahead of us. I do ask everyone please to remain fully seated at all times. Hold on tight to everything, because as we cross over this bridge on the left-hand side, you've got some Nile crocodiles.
Crocodiles. Man, look, crocodiles. Over there. By the
Nile
wall. By the wall.
crocodiles
By the wall.
on average 16 to
By the
20
wall. By the
feet,
wall.
500 to 750 pounds. Their main diet
Crocodile.
is fish. However, they have no problems taking on any larger prey that might come along. Anything from small hippos to wildebeest to zebras, anything like that. And in one meal, they can eat up to 250 pounds. Right, it looks like you can see some open sky ahead of us. Trees are clearing out. I think we're going to be headed out to what almost everyone thinks of when they think of Africa, and that's going to be that wide open African savanna. Another great clue is this baobab tree right here. That tree can live up to about 2,500 years. It stays leafless 9 months out of the year to conserve water because it holds 30,000 gallons of water in its trunk. Animals can go to it in the drought season. It's got a spongy bark. They can kind of lick on it, peel the bark off to get water. Now over here on the left, we do have our first view of the savanna. I want you to take a look at it real quick. All that shortcut grass, well, that's the work of all the grazers that we have out here.
Yeah,
Animals like
giraffe. Oh,
zebras,
yeah. I saw some
antelopes.
giraffe. Yes.
These trees, well, you can tell how tall the tallest giraffe is by how far up those trees are trimmed.
What is that?
Giraffes.
How about that?
I don't know.
Now, speaking of giraffes, I do see some Maasai giraffe over here on your right-hand side. I know they're Maasai because they do have all their splotches. They're kind of jagged on the edges. All the other giraffe species, they're all smooth.
I love giraffes.
An adult giraffe can be up to 20 feet tall. They're actually born rather tall as well. On average, about 6 feet tall when they're born.
Holy crap.
Where's
Not fair.
Did you think you lost Maverick?
Oh, over here on your left-hand side, I do spot some African wild dogs. There's one standing up against the back there, and there comes one trotting around this corner.
wild dogs?
And they're like wolves.
Cute and cuddly. However, you don't want to take one of these home.
I do.
They're the #1 hunter of mammals in Africa.
I like.
They'll actually run their prey to exhaustion. They have an 80 to 90% success rate.
Where's those? Oh, there's goats.
Those large cattle you see in the back corner, those are Ankole cattle, also
Ankole
called the
cattle.
Watusi cattle for the tribe that domesticated them. They're actually the only domesticated animal we have here in the
That's right.
reserve. Some more giraffe there.
I heard what her said.
You got a glimpse of those horns. You can see how very large they were. They're not as heavy as you think they'd be though. They have a honeycomb-like structure inside of them. It actually helps to circulate their blood and keep them cool. It's kind of like an air conditioner on their head. Now you can see these giraffes are kind of going from tree to tree looking for food. They'll do that about 20 hours of the day.
A bird.
Each the other 3.5, they're actually looking for food. And that last 30 minutes they actually use for sleep. They only sleep on average 30 minutes, and they do that in about 2 to 3 minute cat naps at a time.
I smell.
I don't know about y'all, but I take longer accidental naps than that.
No, don't look at me again. Whoa, that's the. Oh my God.
All right, here in front of us, these brown antelope walking right towards us, these are sable antelope.
Oh, I
They're
like
actually the
them.
emblem here of the Harambe Reserve. In a fight or flight situation, they will always fight back. Now those sloped back horns, they actually use for defense for any predators who might try to jump on their back. And up on the hill, laying down, there's one standing up. Those are wildebeest.
I like wildebeest.
They form one of the largest migrating herds on Earth. Up to 1.5 million wildebeest can gather together. Roam for up to 1,000 miles in search of food or water. Over here on the left, those are eland,
Ooh,
the
eland.
largest antelope. Adult males can get up to 6 feet tall at the shoulder. They can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. And my most favorite fact about them, from a complete standstill, they can jump 8 feet into the air.
Oh, wow.
Now these trees that I've pushed down over here, it's a good indicator we're headed into elephant country. Everybody watch out and help me look for anything you might see out there. Collectively you have more eyes than I do, and I have to watch the road. I do see an elephant on the right hand side. However, first off I want to point your direction to the left here. On these rocks, those are mandrills. The largest monkey, the male, is actually back there to your left. Now he can get up to 100 pounds. Females on average are about 30.
I love them.
They're very shy but very social to one another. They'll actually, like humans, smile at each other. It's a friendly gesture to them. However, if they ever smile at a human or another animal, it's a sign of aggression.
Oh, no.
All right, here's a better view of that elephant. You see the elephant flapping its ears back and forth like the Angoli cattle. It's like an internal air conditioner, helps cool them down. They have a network of blood vessels on the back of their ears. As they flap their ears, it cools the blood. It circulates through their body, cools them up to about 15 degrees. And
I hate elephants. I love elephants.
Good.
now I'm sure most of you know that elephants are highly poached for those ivory tusks, but they also face more things than that. They have a big habitat loss from mining and farmers. Farmers replant their fields in elephant territory. And the elephants will go search for food and water. Will just kind of walk through the fields, not knowing it's a farmer's field. They'll either destroy the crops or eat them. So of course the farmers get upset, so they'll hunt the elephants so they won't come back. We here at Harambe, we don't like that. So we tried to see what we could do to figure out and how to help. So we partnered with researchers and conservationists, and actually by studying the herd that we see most often here on Harambe, we've discovered that they're actually scared of bees. So up in Kenya, we talked to some farmers and actually built some beehive fences around their fields. Now when the elephants would actually walk towards the fields, the bees would get upset.
How was
Start
the
buzzing.
ride?
And then the elephants would get scared and turn away. Now elephants can talk to each other across long distances, so they'd actually be like, hey, don't come over here, there's bees over here.
No.
They would turn away. They would not eat the crops or destroy the crops. So the farmers were happy. The elephants were saved, and the farmers could actually sell the honey from the hives to supplement their income. Now that's a win-win for everyone. Now over here on the left-hand side, I do see more of that herd.
More elephants. Elephants.
They can hold up to 5 gallons of water in their trunk. The very tip of their trunk, they have 2 little finger-like appendages on it. They're prehensile as well. They can actually use that to grab anything they want to bring up to their mouth. They're so delicate they can actually pick one blade of grass. And it takes about a year for elephants to learn how to use their trunk correctly. Now on your left-hand side, on this island, that's a flamboyance of flamingos. These are greater flamingos. They're the largest and lightest pink of all flamingos.
And there's ducks too.
When they're hatched, they have gray feathers. However, about the course of year to 2 years, with their diet of brine shrimp, they turn that light pink color. The shrimp is actually high in beta carotene.
I didn't know flamingos have beaks.
If you look to your left, you can actually see some mud pits over there. A lot of animals will actually use those to cool off. Acts as a sort of sunblock for some animals. If you look up here on your right hand side, you can catch a quick glimpse of those scimitar horned oryx.
Ooh, orange. We're in mud again. And we're in mud.
Oh no.
That's
They
okay.
usually live in
We're
more
still
arid
moving.
environments. Those white coats help deflect the sun to keep them cool. They can go 9 months out of the year without a single drop of water.
Go.
And they actually will not start to sweat until their internal body temperature reaches about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, look up ahead of us. This is a Kobe rock formation, and almost at the very, very top is one of our big cats. We have our male lion laying up there.
Ooh. Really cool.
Now, they'll actually use rock formations like this to rest on, to keep watch over their territory. They do exactly what he's doing right now, about 16 to 20 hours out of the day, that sleep and rest. Now at night, the females will actually go out to hunt and the male will stay back. He'll take care of his territory, watch over any cubs that are left behind. And for that, he gets a reward. If the females bring any prey back, he gets to eat first. Oh, I do see a female laying here. Well, that male bird is talking about him and he's sat up.
I wonder when the tree will come up.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see.
Now that spectacular mane you see on that male, it's beautiful. It's used for protection. It actually weighs about 40 pounds. Now over on the left-hand side, these burrows are usually made by animals like warthogs. You can see one laying here in this burrow, or close to it anyway. When most people think warthogs, they think Pumbaa. That translates to silly one. However, they're actually very smart. They're one of the only animals who can back themselves up. They'll actually back themselves into the burrow. They'll leave their tusk facing out for protection.
We go to the beach right after. It's called do you know what the beach one is? The Yeti. What's going to be Yeti after?
We'll do it eventually.
Huh?
We'll do it eventually.
After this, okay? After the ride. So we can see the Yeti with the bird apart. And it's like roar! Like that. Let's do that after. I'm very brave.
Sounds good.
I'll be, I don't know. Watch out, ping pong.
Now this area is actually called Magadi Glen. This does mark the edge of the reserve. This is where the warden has the warden's outpost. Looks like warden's been working on a couple of projects here. Several things going on. He started raising Nigerian dwarf goats.
Let's go.
And that yellow thing hanging right there that the one goat's kind of trying to nibble on, that's actually one of those beehive fences we were talking about earlier. Now, Nigerian dwarf goats are very good for the local community. They provide a milk that's very rich in vitamins, minerals, protein, very high in butterfat, makes an excellent cheese that the villagers make and actually can sell. They'll also eat a lot of the woody underbrush that the other animals won't eat. It just helps keep the areas cleared. Now, driving through those gates does mean we are exiting out of the reserve. I hope you had a fantastic time out there. We saw a lot of fantastic animals, great conservation facts. Just want to leave you with a few more because you may be wondering, is there anything you can do to help? And of course there is. Even small changes can make a big difference, like reducing our plastic usage. Try to recycle correctly what we can. Starting with those plastic bottles. Go ahead and just grab a reusable water bottle. You can take them everywhere. Recyclable or reusable shopping bags. And one thing that I learned fairly recently was those plastic straws that you get, they actually can't be recycled. They go right into the landfill. So if you switch over to the reusable straws, it can make a huge difference. Now we're coming right up to the dock here. We are back in the village. And here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It's far too sad and far too final. So here in Harambe, we'll actually bid you Kwaherini.
What was that?
What? When I can ask you, are you able to put that on you? What's the weight on it?
Sweet.
Watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs on the right hand side. Those doors will be sliding open in Kwaherini. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Come on, baby. Let's do it.
On the Yeti. Oh yeah, let's go on the Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
On the Yeti.
Come, baby.
On the Yeti. Okay, let's go to 4.
Okay.
At 4 we go on the Yeti.
Sounds good, baby.
Let's get the stroller and go on the Yeti. Okay.
Did you love it? There were so many good animals. We had a good one.
Yeah, now we have to get the Yeti.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
What was your favorite animal you saw, Bane?